As the Dodd-Frank Financial Reform Act moves into its third year, lawmakers and regulators are dissatisfied with the pace of reform. Places like Home Slice are making more non-Chicagoans feel at home in the Windy City, bringing them comfort food that's healthier than a deep dish slice. While it's been a great year for 1871, Chicago startup companies understand the importance of creating their own distinct startup identity. Establishing that oversight may be the focus of the Bureau's main critics in Congress. While in the last couple of weeks, lawmakers have agreed on a number of initiatives, they still face an impending sequester and immigration reform. Technology developers say that making apps more clickable keeps consumers coming back. President Obama says he wants to see an overhaul of mortgage financing companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. This comes after a massive government bailout of both agencies during the financial crisis.
All right, let's get this party started.
The celebration this 4th of July in Washington, D.C. was not just about the national holiday, but about the success of tech startup incubator 1776.
We invested $200,000 in 1776, and today they have more than 100 startups right here in this space.
In its first 3 months, 1776 startups have brought in more than $18 million in funding, and the incubator has already attracted star attention.
We've been open for just about 3 months, and we've already had the Queen of Jordan, we've had the Vice Chancellor of Germany come through.
The visit from the German Vice Chancellor paved the way for one startup in the incubator to build some business abroad. What makes D.C. different is those it is looking to attract.
There's so many global organizations here in D.C. that would benefit from the use of technology.
David Haft designed technology for underserved populations in Africa and India. The goal is to make this technology affordable to global organizations. Evan Burfield and his co-founder Donna Harris say they hope to share the resources in Washington with startup entrepreneurs across America and abroad. I'm Sonali Basak of Medill News Service for United Press International. Business is good for urban kayaks.
Well, it's changed in a lot of ways, actually. Most notably is probably the quality of water. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, there were still kayakers on the river, but you wouldn't necessarily want to be kayaking on the water.
More and more people are flocking to the Chicago River, and so that's a direct benefit.
Friends of the Chicago River and Open Lands released research that the river is developing the area in profitable ways.
The Chicago River Walk has new businesses that never would have existed before. There's riverfront restaurants, there's canoe and kayak rentals, water taxis have been booming.
The impact can be seen in rising property value. More development is attracted to the river because that's where people want to be.
I love what the city's doing. ROM is actually making a lot of progress. They just came out with this plan to renovate the Riverwalk. We are very excited about that.
Frisbee says the way Chicago is developing the river can be translated to other cities. Aaron Gershenson agrees and hopes to bring his business to other cities as well.
I hear there's a lot of good rivers in other cities. I hear San Antonio's got a gorgeous river, Austin's got a great river, Portland's got a great river. That's kind of the dream. Right now we'll try to grow in Chicago, and who knows where it's going to go.
The new research shows the river presents an ocean of possibility. In Chicago, Sonali Basak, Medill reports.
I grew up in the neighborhood. I lived right down the street here on Kenmore, and I went to school in Lemoyne. There was a ballpark in the neighborhood, so what are you going to do when you're a kid?
Mo Mullins has been chasing baseball since 1958, since he was 8 years old. The sport has a name, ball hawking, and it has created a small community.
It's a sport where you wait out here and stare at the sky and wait for a small dot to appear, and you chase after it.
In '98, when Sammy hit 61, there was probably an estimate of 3,000 people out here. And then when he came up for 62, which by the way, I'm the guy who actually caught it, there was over 5,000 people out here.
Mullins himself has 5,700 baseballs caught over the walls of Wrigley. Mullins said ballhawks caught 1,000 baseballs yearly. That number went down to 300 after the most recent Wrigley expansion in 2005. With the changes planned at Wrigley, the ball hawking tradition may continue to dwindle.
When they put up the signage and stuff, it might end my lifelong hobby. But you know, I'm at that age, and the Cubs, they're not going to do anything with me and their thoughts. I'm the last thing they're concerned about.
It would probably be really sad because like this is like a second family to me. Like opening day is like a great day. We all come meet up and play catch out here. We get little wiffle ball games going.
We take batting practice together. We go on road trips. In 2010, I took a few of the kids. We all went to New York because I had to do a presentation at Cooperstown. You know, that's what got me started, and now I just do it because it was a lifelong hobby. You know, my last grasp of my youth, maybe.
Mullins is negotiating with Wrigley to keep his baseballs on display to keep a bit of the ball hawking tradition alive. In Chicago, Sonali Basak, Medill reports.